Welcome back, everybody. We're not going to dwell too much on this intro. We already have. This is Bizel here, and
a Kid, episode 2.
Thankfully, I do have my co-host back for this show, because I need somebody to bounce off to. Bounce off of. Bounce off to. Bounce off of, and bounce back to. All right.
Let's get it.
We're talking about sports again today, and, with the state of the NFL and the state of my Steelers, I feel like we kind of have to talk about my Steelers first here. I want to get it off my chest. It's just not looking pretty. I have hope with Pickett. I do have a lot of hope with him. He has the potential. It's there. But the offensive line is the same patch-made quilt that it has been. I mean, that makes it that gives the wrong impression. Let me draw this back a little bit. It's a patch-made quilt of interchanging pieces that have not stayed consistent and not played consistent over the past 2.5, 3 years.
So what do you feel like the biggest problem is as far as not generating running lanes for Najee, or
they motherfucker? And we're back again, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, what the fuck happened? We're back again after minor technical difficulties. We're gonna pick up where we were talking about. The Steelers need a lot of work. That's all I got to say about it. This weekend will determine a lot to set the tone for the rest of the year. Hopefully, we can not end up a top 5 draft pick, but that wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be, the first time in all these years, and it'd be a good reality check for the rest of my fellow Steeler fans out there.
It's hard to get out of a hole if you start 1-5. That's all I'm saying. So.
Yeah, it is fucking horrible.
And especially playing in a tough division like the North, where every game is a dogfight. It's gonna be hard. So. We'll see what happens.
After last week's show, I've made it, I guess, made a revelation of so to speak, that I shouldn't make bold predictions.
At all.
Or ever again.
0 for 3.
Yeah, I mean.
Imagine making 3 bold predictions your first show. I just feel like that was a little over the top.
It was bold.
It was bold, and then you missed on all 3. So.
Yeah. I swung hard and just there was airball, man.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel better, neither of us had a good pick'em, so to speak.
No, not a good pick.
Maybe
weekend.
We don't know shit about football. Maybe the Steelers will turn it around.
Hey, I would love to be wrong about my Steelers in this case. Getting out of the Steelers' basement, let's venture into something else a little uncomfortable to talk about. Davante Adams gets assault charges for pushing a cameraman, I believe it was.
I believe so, yeah.
I've seen the footage, and I'm going to try to insert some footage here in the video so you guys can see it too, and, give your opinion in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. But that was not assault. I understand it was fucked up. It was a very dick move. In Davante Adams' defense, he didn't see, he wasn't looking up. Boom, there's a person in front of you.
In front of you, sure.
And to the camera guy's defense, you're just doing your job. You probably should have paid more attention to when the players are coming off the field. But at the end of the day, he got pushed. He fell on his ass. He got back up. I bet did the rest of his job.
Do I feel like Davante was malicious in his intent? I don't. Do I understand why the dude is suing? I do. I mean,
it's America. I
mean, yeah. If there's a payday, I'm gonna take it. Especially. Go ahead.
That's the sad thing about it, though. Like, my dumb ass, if I had been that, because I guess because of the fan I am, like, shit, I got shoved by Davante Adams. Fuck yeah.
I mean, at least get a jersey out of it. But, I mean, but you would have just been cool with him touching you.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think he could have been the better, not the bigger man, but just the cooler head about it and be like, I just want an apology. Yeah, instead of going to fucking court or, getting all the fine or the court fees and fines and bringing lawyers into this, fuck you, man.
I agree with you, but, I mean, unfortunately, the country that we live in, if there's any way to manipulate that, people will do it.
And never mind the fact that, I bet you being an NFL cameraman, even run around the field looking as goofy as he did, he still makes a lot more money than most.
And reportedly, that was his first day on the job, which is insane. Oh, I mean, you're set for life now.
And now he never has to work again. What a wonderful day at work.
I need one of those
I got
days.
shoved by Davante Adams, and then I never had to work again. Remember that, kids?
It was assault.
It was malicious assault.
Oh, malicious.
I've got the video.
I forgot that word, yeah.
I bet he's going to have that video playing on a look in his house.
Oh,
like, look, that's how we got paid, honey.
It was... telling that story.
See, that's the last day I ever had to work.
Right? Well, shout out to him, 20-something,
Hey,
and never having to work again.
Guess he did play it right.
I don't respect it, but I understand it.
Talking about more bullshit, really. Roughing the passer calls oh man, they've gotten out of hand, wouldn't you say?
Every year it's something, whether it's holding they never called or defensive pass interference. But this year it's over the top because it hasn't happened yet. It kind of happened in the Brady game, the Bucks game, excuse me. But it's gonna cost the team.
You had it right,
big.
the Brady game.
I mean, the Falcons, if they just needed the ball back because they had scored on back-to-back drives to make that game competitive.
No, but I mean, anybody that's buying tickets to go see a Bucks game, it's because of Brady.
Well, sure, of course, but I'm just saying. So, yeah, it's gonna end up costing a team big time because of a bad call.
Fuck. Now I'm not gonna remember the game. This is gonna sound like a dumbass talking. Hey, what's new? Welcome to the channel.
Please subscribe.
The roughing the passer call where he almost had the strip sack in the Monday night game. There we go. Chiefs Raiders.
Yeah.
That was I mean,
bad.
come on.
Am I not supposed to touch him and take the ball?
I understand protecting the players
to a certain
extent. From the NFL's from the PR perspective. Let me put it that way. I understand it from that perspective. I don't understand it as a former player myself. A former high school player myself. I'll, give myself the little bit of credit I deserve.
It counts, damn it. It counts.
I've put on pads. That's about as far as it goes. No.
Football.
I've taken some hits,
shit,
man. Hey, those 5 concussions prove I've taken some hits. But, how are you supposed to play football if you can't land on the other guy? Like, how are you supposed to tackle a grown man when you yourself, a grown man, cannot land on that grown man?
I think it's funny, though, because if you look around the league, one, the games have been closer than they have in ever.
Yeah.
But ultimately, offense is down. And as many rules as they've made in the last 10 to 15 years to benefit offense where you not being able to touch them.
No mistake about it. The rule book is designed to make the offense go.
I mean, let's be honest again. What puts fans in seats?
Yeah.
Points. Scoring. Yeah. So it's funny that, with the numbers being down, you're still trying to emphasize,
overprotection of the quarterback.
And at some point it has to stop.
There has to be a balance here, It's
completely offline.
Like, what are they wearing? What are you wearing all those pads, helmet, the most space age fucking expensive helmets you can buy, and now you're still going to overprotect them with rules? I mean,
we don't want them to get
I hate
hit.
to use this word overprotection and make it, the next buzzword that'll be on fucking TMZ Sports. But you're overprotecting them like they're babies. They're grown men. They know what they sign up for.
And that's what it is.
If a guy gets up, he's staggering when he gets off the field, pull him. Don't let him get back in the game. That's simple. But if a guy lands on another guy, that's football.
You can't throw a flag for that.
They shouldn't be penalized.
You can't throw a flag for that in a crucial point in the game, which is, again, going back to the Bucks game. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Going back to the Monday night game,
Well,
it was still a crucial. That could have changed a fumble, a strip sack.
Yeah,
that's game changing.
Definitely, and to have it go against you.
Yeah, have it become a negative play for your defense.
It's tough.
It's like, okay, well, there goes more steam out of our sails.
It's just hard to get out of a hole when you're just you're playing sound defense, doing what you're taught, and you get penalized for it.
I got to take a moment to acknowledge that I just said steam out of your sails, combining 2 forms of naval.
I was just gonna ignore it and just keep going. Could have edited it out, but now it's in
there. Nah, we don't edit around here.
We'll go with it.
I do edit. Well, the editor, he's a piece of shit, and he's learning how to do his job right. But we won't pick on the editor too much.
He's doing it for free, man. So
I mean, hey,
give him some
lollipops and cocaine. That's all he needs.
I mean, that's quite a mix, but
he dips the lollipops in the cocaine,
right.
And then it numbs him up. Then he can chew them.
Right. Is it kind of with the bubble gum in the middle? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then he needs something to keep that jaw going once you got all that cocaine.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's,
Not saying I'm gonna try it.
No, I wouldn't recommend it at all. But if you ever wonder how many licks it takes with a little bit of cocaine, it's a crunch.
You get there pretty fast.
Lick. If you remember that owl, you're an old person now.
Is that owl
And I
still
am
alive?
too. No, that owl is
I mean,
in some kind of like vault. Disney probably bought him, and they're locking him away with all
I
the
thought you meant
other.
like taxidermied or like
that,
he's just hanging
that
up,
too. I'm sure there's somebody has a version of that. One of his clones.
holding the
One that was used
lollipop.
for live advertisements at a point in time.
Right.
Let's talk about Monday night as a whole. Because that was a pretty exciting game, I feel like. Did you get to see the game?
I was asleep. No, so I saw some of the highlights. I saw Kelsey had 4 touchdowns, and so I won't talk out of my ass. I will let you.
I watched the condensed version, which, if you haven't watched a condensed version of an NFL game, I highly recommend it. It's pretty nice. I mean, never mind. Obviously, it's nice because there's no ads. But it's extraordinarily nice to be, sped through the referee explaining extra shit, or the referee trying to find his microphone button, or wait, what down is it? When the
save a
referees
lot
are
of
having
time.
it trims up the fat of a show, and at the end of the day, the NFL is a show, and
Yeah.
the condensed version is pleasant to watch. Highly recommend. This Monday night game was pretty exciting. The Chiefs look hot, and the Raiders surprised me. I mean, I'm one of the few people I feel like that had a little more faith in Derek Carr than most, but I feel like it's a Raiders curse that they're gonna have the spark, but they're not gonna be able to get it going. And the refs kind of helped decide this game, but I think it was also a layer of the Raiders. Just they have the talent, they have the components, but they just can't all get to working at the same time for some reason.
And on paper, I mean, if you look at it, they're loaded on both sides of the ball.
Oh yeah,
Like pass rush wise,
they've spent the money
offensive
in
weapons,
the right
yeah,
places.
exactly. So for it to not come together yet, granted we're still early in the year, it's disappointing. I'll say that to say they do have a couple easier winnable games. Nothing's easy in the NFL. Houston this week. Oh, excuse me. Houston next week. They're off this week. The Saints, Jacksonville, the Colts. Go 4-1 in that, and you're still alive in the AFC West. I will say the division's probably out of reach. I mean, I'm not gonna say out of reach, but at this
Nothing's
point,
out of reach in that division.
well, that's true. But
'Cause
well,
that's-
Chiefs might run away with it. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah,
It's possible. I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying it's possible.
And I mean, anybody they face in the playoffs from that division, I don't think in playoff Chiefs. Well, I mean,
Oh well, yeah, that's a different story. But ultimately, I won't say that their season's over with. I'm just surprised with how it's playing out because I just thought this whole division was gonna be hell. What the NFC East is. Honestly, we're
Yeah.
3 teams, 4 teams, 4-1, 4-2, something similar like that. But for them to come out the gate flat and just not clicking on both sides of the ball, it's a little disappointing.
like Devontae Adams, there's no downing his talent. The man can catch the ball. He can run some beautiful routes. But I feel like there's always the change of environment that impacts athletes more than they want to let on.
I mean, yes and no. In this case, I think it's a little bit different because that's your college quarterback. That's your best friend. So you would think their chemistry hasn't been bad. I mean, he's caught a couple of a couple touchdowns. It's just everything else around him. And I hate to put it back on Derek Carr, but I look at Derek Carr as a top 12 to top 15 quarterback. He's good.
I agree at top 12.
He's underrated, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to have him.
they were shit. 2 years ago, I wanted him. But ultimately, I just don't see him clicking with everything else around it, because you have one of the best tight ends in the league in Waller, one of the best. I don't want to call Renfro a gadget player, but he's just a great receiver. We'll say that he's a good receiver.
He's a good slot.
With all these weapons,
Multifunctioning slot.
There we go. That's a better title for him. With all these weapons, you just would think that their offense would be clicking more. And
They
again,
just cannot get it going.
like I said, it's early.
Well, I mean, mind you, they got it going that first half. They were looking hot that first half. They went up 17 nothing at a point in time.
I heard about that. I didn't actually see it,
And
like I said.
I watched the condensed version
Mhm.
while playing other stuff, and it was a good game. It was a good game. We'll leave it at that. It's a good game without the shitty roughing the passer calls that shouldn't have been called. I mean, simple as that. I mean, you could make the argument maybe referees should watch more football.
Well, a lot of
as a fan, you know what I mean? Because I can somewhat wrap my head around this. Is if you're a referee, you're not watching the game when you're refereeing the game. You know what I mean? You're looking for things. You're looking for anything to
infractions.
Call it by the book and somewhat do your job, or whatever's going to help you at sportsbook.com and all that.
Hey.
Depending on the referee. I'm sure some of them are legit.
Sportsbook, or we just
not yet, but hey, if they hear this and they want to help us out, DraftKings, you out there? Caesar's book.
Shit, we'll take a mom and pop. It doesn't even matter.
Speaking of sponsorships,
all right.
I saw someone sent me. I might have to put the screenshot in this. Someone sent me a Kentucky Fried Chicken fleshlight.
Did it
I'll
smell like
I'll say that again. A Kentucky Fried Chicken fleshlight.
Oh, wait. I just need clarification because I have so many questions. Did they send you the actual fleshlight, or they sent you a link for
Just
it?
Just a video of a guy getting one and being extremely excited about it. He didn't use it. I didn't see the demonstration, but he just showed it and took it out of the package. Not his dick, just the...
What is the lube? Is it gravy?
They didn't send any lube with it. They should have sent gravy with it. That would have been beautiful.
Oh, my God.
But no, it's just a... it almost looks like a drink. The outside looks like the drink wrapper. But at the top, when you take off the top of the drink wrapper...
Okay.
There's 2 chicken legs, almost in the shape of a vagina. And if I'm not describing this enough in detail for you, I will show the picture in the video. I'll squeeze that in. I'll let the editor know. But that just... There's something for everybody out there.
I don't discriminate against anybody's fetishes.
No, whatever's your kink, if it makes you happy, as long as you do it behind closed doors, hey.
But if you're fucking chicken, seek help.
Yeah.
Please.
I'd like
We're in a chicken shortage too, so please.
I would really like to have the conversation with the guy who was waiting all his life to stick his dick between 2 chicken legs.
If we're being honest, he probably wasn't waiting his whole life. He
had
chickens on the
tried
farm
it, and then he was like, "What's a safer way to do this? A fleshlight.
Yeah.
What's a way to make the chicken not fight back?"
Truly something for everybody out there.
Well, I mean, it's not like the chicken's alive either, so it's not even bestiality. They're fried chicken legs. I mean,
I don't do that raw chicken shit.
I ain't about that raw chicken life, bro.
You better. I ain't none of that bacon shit either.
If I'm fucking a chicken, it's gonna be fried. God damn it.
No hot sauce though, because that shit burns when it gets inside.
Speaking of fucking a chicken, let's move into Dak or Cooper Rush.
I don't see the correlation, but we'll go with it. Who's fucking and who's the chicken? Like
I don't know. That's the discussion.
Well, if we want to talk about fucking, Cooper Rush is kind of fucking right now. Let's give him credit.
He's fucking the league
man.
Up, man.
His stat line wasn't like super impressive last week, but he's doing enough ultimately for the Cowboys to come out on top. I did not think they'd be 4-1 going into this matchup with the undefeated Eagles, but here we are. Do you want to talk about the matchup, or you want to talk about?
An interesting statistic. Woo, work on that one, Jay. An interesting statistic was pointed out to me earlier this week about Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott, is that the coach has a higher winning percentage with Rush and one other. What's their other dipshit quarterback? He doesn't matter.
It's okay.
They have a higher winning percentage with Rush and dipshit as opposed to Dak.
I can't think.
And for what is he, a $40 million
He's up there.
Yeah,
he's top.
A high-paid franchise quarterback. He's earned that title. He doesn't have the win percentage. If you bounce around and you go to other head coaches without their franchise quarterback, their win percentage plummets. Whereas his head coach without him, it actually rises. So my correlation is maybe let him sit a little longer.
Just to play.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, but if y'all want to keep winning, hey.
They're not gonna win this week against the Eagles. This one will come back. This one will come back to bite me though. Watch them blow out the Eagles somehow.
We're not doing picks this week because we're running out of time. But
I'm gonna get this Bears one in because that one starts in about an hour, so I'm gonna get that one in. But anyway,
we'll do picks for tonight. But
here's what I will say, just to play devil's advocate. Mike McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback for almost a decade, and he only got 1 ring out of him.
1 ring.
Mike McCarthy's not a good coach.
Nope.
So the only thing I'll say is the pieces around Cooper Rush are good enough that he's able to go out there and not do too much, but play within the offense. Dak kind of tries to play hero ball more because they're paying him the big bucks to do that. So I don't think we're comparing the two. Maybe that's what you are doing, I guess. Yes. It's not a comparison. Cooper Rush, continue to do what you do. Go out there and get paid this offseason. But when Dak is healthy, he's going to come in and, lead the Cowboys to the playoffs to be, to disappoint like always.
To segue off of that, you think Cooper Rush get paid next year by another team?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, somebody's going to do it. They're going to and it may not be 30, 40 million.
I hope it ain't us.
You got a rookie quarterback in the top 5 pick.
Into existence
so,
now.
No, I don't think...
We went out and got Trubisky before we fucking drafted.
Trubisky is
I guess it was like
transitioning
insurance.
into that bridge quarterback.
It was like buying fire insurance.
Well, no, because, you actually needed this insurance.
Swamp.
You needed this insurance, and it actually turned it out to not work. But your analogies aren't cutting tonight, bro. We gotta work on that. What was the first one? A sail?
There's not enough steam in our sails.
Yeah, we gotta work on that.
Hey, if you got a steamboat with sails, you're going somewhere faster.
I don't know if the sails are really helping it though, but
Hey, when you run out of steam.
Just coasting with the sails and shit.
I'm on fire, damn it!
Oh,
I'm on fire.
It's
Help me, Tom Cruise. I'm on fire.
Here we go. Speaking of improving last week, we'll talk about Justin Fields real quick so I can transition into...
you were looking in the corner of the room. I thought, I improved something over there?
Well, that corner, you did clean it up a little bit. And
I did grab some socks that had fallen on the floor.
All right. Well, hopefully they weren't crusty.
No, they were fresh.
Again, Justin Fields, his second half of the game was more impressive than the first half. First half was a slow start again. But I think that's just the Chicago Bears in general. For some reason, we've done a good job making adjustments. I didn't hear what you said.
I said, I'm glad you said it.
Okay, but you guys are 1-4, so
hey,
whatever.
No, I wouldn't that.
Anyway,
every bit of it.
So Justin Fields went 12 for 13 in the second half, and was on the way to lead. We were down 21-3 to the Vikings within the first 6-7 minutes of the game, and we couldn't stop them. Justin Jefferson had 9 catches in the first quarter, and I think 10 at the half, and so we couldn't stop him. But Justin Fields, like I said, he went 12 for 13 in the second half. And kept us. We even took the lead. With 6 minutes ago, we had the lead. Ultimately, it came back to not being able to stop the Vikings. They marched 17-play drive, scored with a couple minutes left. We were marching, but Amir Smith-Marset got the ball just snatched from him. It was bad. So I said all that to say, I don't expect the Bears to be good this year. I think I even said that on the first one. But I just want to see constant improvement by Justin Fields and the other pieces that are going to be here long term. So, just since we're along those lines, I'm going to go ahead and make the prediction for tonight. I think it's going to be an ugly game because you have 2 quarterbacks. Again, Justin is improving, but he's still not there yet. And then Carson Wentz puts up decent numbers, but he always is. He's had 7 fumbles this year.
Damn, already?
Yeah, but he's recovered all but 1. So, I guess that's...
So he's near it.
That's something.
He's staying near the ball.
That's something. So I'm going to go with Chicago 24, Washington 13. Commanders is the worst name in the league. I like football team better, to be completely honest. But
I would like to talk about that, actually.
Okay, but I need a pick.
Talking about that.
Give me a pick,
I'm
too.
definitely taking the Bears.
All right, I'll take
I want to see them take... I want to see them... Well, I see them, for some reason, I'm seeing 17-10.
Like I said,
a shitty first half.
Yeah.
Both teams, get a field goal, then they trade touchdowns before the half, and then it's Bears score 1 and then hold them off.
I'll take it.
Because I don't see the Commanders.
God.
I mean, come on. There's a Steven Seagal movie that's horrible and low budget, and he was the entire budget.
Steven Seagal, so I knew that.
Yeah, it was made by Steven Seagal in the past 10, 20, almost 30 years. Then yeah, it's garbage. Yeah. And low budget and horrible. And you picked that name for your football team. You should have stuck with football team.
Yeah, that was better.
And then they couldn't even come up with a fucking logo? Why is there no logo? You had 2-3 years to work on a name and a logo.
Dan
and
Snyder,
you came back with nothing but Commanders.
Sell the fucking team. I feel bad because
somebody give Snyder a lobotomy. Like, fuck. Something's not working up there.
We talk about historic franchises, which, the Redskins dominated the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
and to see how far they've fallen. And think about it,
They
honestly,
even
bro,
were good in the
2
30s.
years ago. Jesus, what?
Back when Sammy Baugh was slinging it,
Lord,
man.
Wow.
Like
2 years ago, this was a playoff team. Remember, they snuck in with Taylor Heineke, and they gave the Bucks a run for the money the year the
where
Bucks got
is
Super.
Heineke now?
I was trying to figure that out earlier. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's still in the league.
Lost.
And shout out to him. Shout out to ODU represent.
Oh hey.
But
Didn't know that about him.
really? Yeah, he actually broke
Oh,
the passing
yes, I
record.
did.
He had like
Yeah,
755 yards in a game.
Insane. Probably against
but
Norfolk State.
Yo, shut up. But he's still watching it. Oh shit. All right, well, he might get in tonight. No.
Hey, yeah, well, it's Wentz.
Yeah, well,
He makes you Wentz.
Yeah, that is true.
That is such a fitting name.
Damn, I did not know that shit.
I liked him coming out of whatever college, that tiny little school. I thought he looked good with the Eagles that first year, and then he got hurt, and I feel like he's just never looked quite as good.
Who Wentz?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. North Carolina State. I was like, I thought you were talking about Heineke for a second. No, I like Wentz too. And that year he got hurt. He was like 1-2 with Brady in the Super Bowl. In the MVP running. Yeah. And then he got hurt, and Nick Foles,
He's never looked MVP worthy since.
Well, it's similar to Carr. It's like that skittishness, like that not feeling comfortable in the pocket.
Yeah, he does have a lot of that.
And some of that
I saw a
is
lot
from
of that
getting
when he was
hit a
with
lot.
the Colts.
Yeah, some of that's from getting hit a lot, and then you also have to factor in the injury. Like with Carr, Carr was his ACL, I believe, or it's his leg.
Yeah, because it was like
Wentz
stepping up in the pocket.
Was his
thing.
leg too? I want to say. So you get it, but as a quarterback, you can't really get away with that with how pass rushers are, how fast as they are these days.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really get away with that skittishness. So
playing tentative in the pocket, you wind up getting sacked.
Anyway,
and
yeah,
and probably hurt. All right, for next week's show, I think we might do a little something different depending on our schedules. I'm thinking we might do a game commentary, maybe.
Oh yeah.
For the Thursday night game.
All right.
Not necessarily like essentially like play-by-play, but maybe a little something along the kin of what Eli and Peyton are doing. But I mean, obviously we won't have any high-paid guests, but it should be fun. We'll tinker with it and discuss it.
Sounds like a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for coming today and listening to us ramble about these goofy teams we enjoy. Alrighty, that should do it. Please like and subscribe. If you forgot to like and subscribe, this is another chance for you to like and subscribe.